Hi guys, Connie here. It's been a little while again. I want to come to you today with some information, and I thought about just laying low until things clear up, and I decided to come to you because you've been with me on this whole journey, and so you need to know this. So here I am, and basically I want to talk about, I just want to be raw and real today, and I have practically no makeup on today, and I want to talk about a recent doctor appointment I had. I want to talk about cancer. I want to talk about pre-cancer, and maybe relationships, and so we'll see where that goes. But I want to tell you that I had a spot on my neck, on my chest, and I had some little lumps that were just really weird in my scalp around my crown area right here. And so I made an appointment, and it took a couple of weeks to get it, and really a lot of times it can take up to 2 or 3 months for a doctor appointment. I'm sure you're experiencing the same thing. But they had another doctor instead of the one I normally see, and I'm like, I can see them in 2 weeks. I said, fine, I'll take that one. And so I did. And with these lumps on my head, I don't know if any of you have ever experienced this. I thought that it was psoriasis because my dad had psoriasis on his scalp. And I remember my mother having to treat that all the time and how awful it was. And so it would itch, and my nails were really long because of the collagen that I take all the time. And so I would reach in here and start scratching. And when I did, I would hit one of those lumps and break it loose. And when it, kind of had a little edge on it, well, every time you scratch, you loosen it a little more, and then pretty soon you're picking on it. And so I started picking on it, and I had 2 or 3 of them that I actually pulled off. And part of the problem with that was I pulled off hair and all. And so I've got a little spot up here where I have no hair, because I recently, the collagen's doing great, but I recently pulled all that out of there. And there was still more lumps. And so that's why I called the doctor and went in. And it was not psoriasis, and there was 2 different things going on my scalp. One I don't remember, but it was some kind of I want to use fungus, but I don't mean that icky wise. It was just just a thing that had to be cleared up. And then I had these lumps, and he said that the lumps were precancerous, and that there's nothing I did to create them, nothing I could have done now to have stopped them. He said it was things that happened in my childhood. And really, I was never a sun worshiper, a beach goer, or anything like that. I just lived life, and I worked a lot, so I wasn't out in the sun that much. So I don't know how that happened, but that's what he said it is. So he gave me a shampoo to use on it. He said he'd like me to use it every day, but if not, every other day at least. And to shampoo it, and then it was still itching. And so he said I could put Neosporin on it, or one of those Sporin type ointments. And so I had Neosporin in the house, and so I've been using that on it. Like I do it every other day on the shampoo, and then on the odd day I'll do the Neosporin on it to help help the itch a little bit. And if I'm supposed to go back on the 28th and find out if they look like they're clearing up somewhat, then he'll just keep me on the shampoo. But if they're not, then he's going to want me to go on a medication of some kind. I don't know what. And you guys know I don't do medication well, and I like things natural. And so I'm looking into a couple of things to try naturally to get rid of what's on my scalp. And so the other thing was, I told him, I said, I have a spot on my nose that I just went in for a bunch of stuff. I had a list. I never go in with a list to the dermatologist, but I did this time. It was last Thursday. It's been a week yesterday. And so there was, he said this was precancerous as well. And so he froze this, and I think it's sort of falling off. My nose has always been really red, and I hide it with makeup the best I can. Today it's raw and real. What you see is what you get. So, so I haven't put any makeup on because I have other things going on my face. So I'm just trying to go without makeup until some of this heals up or whatever. And so the precancerous one, he froze off. And then he's, because I've got some other little red bumpy things over here, and it itches under my nose. And he said it's all the same thing. Now, I don't know if that same thing meant the fungus thing, whatever that was, that I don't remember the name of, or if it was the precancerous things. So what I've been doing is I put my skincare on, but I don't put it on my nose. Instead, I put the Neosporin on my nose and under here, and it helps with the itching, and it seems to be helping with the redness somewhat, because I always felt like I looked like a clown, and that's been there for a long time, and so I guess it was growing and I didn't know it. So it's not growing to where it looks bad, it's just red and kind of, you know, a little lumpy. And so that is under control as far as he's concerned. And oh, I do use the shampoo on this as well, and then the Neosporin. He said use the same shampoo. He said you can use a cream, I can give you a cream to use for your nose, or you can use the shampoo. And I said, well, I'll just try the shampoo, and if it's not working, then I'll get the cream. So I'm using the shampoo here and on this part of my head, because I have other shampoo that I use for my curly hair, which is a little straight today, a little wavy. And so then he found, I asked him to take a spot off of my chest. He froze that over here, and he froze one on my neck over here. So I have lots of spots. And so this one he saw, and he said, wow, he said, I'm glad you came in. I want to biopsy that one. So he biopsied that one. I'm waiting for the results on that. And then I was putting the Band-Aid across here, and it really irritated it somewhat. You can see there's some red spots there. So then I started putting the Band-Aid here, and then I just took it off, and I'm trying to just let it have some air and let it heal. That one doesn't look too bad. We'll see what the biopsy comes back with. Then I had a spot on my hip that I've had for probably at least 3 years, and someone in his office looked at it before, and they were going to biopsy it, and they gave me some cream, said come back in 3 months. I came back, it looked identical, and he said, well, I think you're okay, and he did not biopsy it. This doctor was very upset and said, oh, we need to biopsy that right away. And so he's biopsied my hip, and I don't know what the results of that one are either. So this one is biopsied, my hip is biopsied, and he will call me back within a week, because he said he would call me within 2 weeks, and it's been 1 week. So I guess he'll call me back within a week of that. So I'm kind of a mess at the moment. Oh, and I had a spot on my forehead. You can see that. And it was there before, and it was really big, and I went in to the dermatologist, and I said, I feel like it's a witch's wart, but instead of being on my nose, it was on my forehead. It was so big. And so she froze that one, and it came off, but it's coming back, as you can see. So I had him freeze it, and he did, but I can tell that there's still live tissue around it, and so part of it's going to fall off, but not all of it. And so I'm still waiting to go back in. I go in on the 28th, and he'll probably have to refreeze this one to get the rest of it off. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe it'll come off. It just doesn't look all dead. It looks live around the farthest outside perimeter. And I'd rather take the whole thing off. Evidently, whatever it is, it's something that comes back. So I'm kind of a mess right now, and I can't do much with my hair. what I've been doing is shampooing it with my regular shampoo from here down, and then the special shampoo from here up, all in this area. And so yesterday, I just stuck my head under the kitchen sink and I just shampooed this part without touching this, because I don't do this every day. But I'm out of curly stuff for this, and now they're saying I shouldn't use this shampoo, and so I may have to redo everything. And my daughter helps me with that. She's in Catalina celebrating her birthday right now. She does that every year. So that's as far as what's going on with me with all of this. And I wanted to come to you and let you know, so that you can do some prayers for me if you can. I'd appreciate that. And I will come back and let you know the results of that. And then I'll come back with a part 2 as far as cancer and relationships and that kind of thing. So I'll come back with part 2 on that. I wanted to get this one out for you now, and then probably my results will be a part 3. And there may even be a part 4. I don't know. So we'll see how it goes. Keep me in your prayers, please. And if you're new to my channel, we are all about widowhood and surviving. I've got lots and lots and lots of videos on when I was going through the entire process, and you're welcome to catch any of that. And then I'm 4.5 years into my recovery of being a widow, and so trying to learn to deal with day by day. And so I'm glad I get to come back and visit with you guys, and I thank you for letting me come into your homes and share what's going on with me. And so if you're new, please subscribe and come back. I'd love to visit with you. Share any comments that you might have below if you've experienced any of these precancerous issues, or the biopsies that I had done. If you've had anything like that done, please feel free to share. And if you have any tips or ideas on how to get rid of the stuff, if you ever had this up here, it's very strange to me. So anyway, with that, just know that if nobody else tells you today, I love you. Have an awesome day. I'm grateful for each and every one of you. And I have this little white thing I'm going to try and click off with this. If it doesn't work, I'll reach up and click it off. All right? Thanks for being here, guys. And I'll see you in a few days. Bye for now.